anonymously, but because if you knew who I really was, you would never let me walk free again. They call me a good man. They smile when they see me. They trust me, blindly. People pray to be like me, to have what I have, to be me. But they don't know the darkness beneath. Behind the smile, behind the charm, lies a truth so deadly, so merciless, it would make them run screaming. I learned early how easy it is to deceive. One kind word, one gentle touch, and they follow me willingly, right into my hands. Even my closest friends, my neighbors, they believe I care. They believe I protect them. They are wrong. Every laugh, every conversation, a trap, every secret they share, another tool I use. They never see it coming. My mask is flawless. Enemies trust me. Lovers confide in me. And all the while, I feel nothing. No guilt, no love. Only the thrill of manipulation and the hunger for more. This is the man behind the mask. Cold, heartless, merciless. And tonight, you are hearing him speak. It started small. Money, power, greed. Just a taste of what was possible. The first time I sold an organ, I told myself it was just business. Just a way to survive. To thrive. But that night, the screams started. Not in the street. Not in the alley. But inside my mind. I woke to the sound of a child crying in the dark, though no one was there. A whispering voice behind the walls called my name, accusing me, mocking me. Every night since, I see shadows moving where they shouldn't. Faces of those I betrayed flash in the corners of my vision. The money, the power, it tasted sweet. But every coin was soaked in blood I could never wash off. One night, I dreamed I walked into a room filled with my victims. Friends, strangers, all staring, mouths frozen mid-scream, hands reaching out from the floor, pulling me in. I told myself I was untouchable, heartless, merciless. But the nightmares know, and they remember. Even in daylight I feel them. Their eyes behind closed doors, their whispers in the wind, reminding me that nothing I did stays buried. The first sin was the easiest, but it hooked me, and it will never let me go. One deal became 2, then 10. What started as business quickly became something darker. I wasn't selling things anymore. I was selling people. The ones who trusted me. The ones who laughed with me. Friends, neighbors, strangers. Anyone who believed in me. Anyone who let their guard down became a commodity. I would smile, shake their hand, promise them the world. And behind that smile, I planned their end. I remember the first time I lured someone close. The fear in their eyes. The trust that blinded them. It became intoxicating. Their scream still echoes in my mind. With every person I sold, I felt invincible. Untouchable. No one suspected. And those who did vanished. I once walked into a room filled with the faces of my victims, their eyes hollow, staring. They were silent, but their judgment burned hotter than any fire. Money flowed. Power grew. A thrill of control. It was addictive. I told myself it was just business, but the truth, I was becoming a monster. Even now I see them. Friends I betrayed, strangers I sold, in the corners of my vision, in the shadows of the night. Always watching. What began as trade became a curse. And with every soul I touched, I sank deeper into the darkness, knowing I could never turn back. Then came the ritual. A promise of power, of wealth, of fear beyond imagining. They told me it would make me untouchable, that no one could harm me, that the world would bow before me. I wanted it. I craved it. And they told me the price. The only cost was my closest blood. I looked at my friends, my family, my lovers, and for the first time, hesitation flickered. But only for a moment. That night I performed the first chant. The fire crackled, shadows danced, and I saw my victim's face reflected in the flames, pale, terrified. But I did not flinch. The ritual demanded more. Every drop of blood spilled was a step toward power. Every scream, a note in the symphony of my rise. I remember the walls closing in, the air thick with smoke and chanting. The spirits of those I sacrificed hovered, their hollow eyes judging, whispering, waiting for the next. I paid the price without hesitation. My heart was cold, my hands steady. Every soul I offered became fuel for the power I sought. Even now I feel the ritual's hunger lingering, a shadow over every breath I take, reminding me that nothing is free. The first ritual was the beginning, and from that night on I knew I was no longer human. I was untouchable, but cursed forever. She never knew what was coming, not a hint, not a whisper of warning. One night, the air thick with smoke and chanting, the shadows dancing on the walls. I led her to the altar. One chant, a spell I had learned in whispers, weaving power around her, around me, binding us to fate. One blade, cold, sharp, and steady in my hand, and she was gone. Her scream echoed in the dark, swallowed instantly by the ritual fire. I saw her eyes widen in disbelief, reflecting the flames. And then nothing, only silence. The ritual smiled upon me, its hunger satisfied. For now, power coursed through my veins, intoxicating, unstoppable. I walked away from her body, unflinching, untouchable. And yet, even in my triumph, I felt the first shadow of fear. Later that night, in the empty house, I saw her reflection in the darkened windows. Pale, dripping, eyes accusing. She was gone, yet haunting me still. The world outside knew nothing. Friends, family, neighbors. They saw only a man smiling, carrying on, while darkness fed his soul. That night was my first victory. But it was also the night I realized the ritual would never be sated. Neither would I. I told her she was my queen, that she was everything to me. My world, my life. She believed me. She trusted me. She smiled, thinking love had found her. But she had no idea. She didn't know she was just another offering, another soul to feed the hunger that had already consumed me. When she screamed, I didn't hear her. Not truly. All I heard was the ritual, whispering, demanding, craving. I remember the fire that night, flickering shadows across her terrified face. Shadows that seemed to reach for me, hungry, approving, satisfied. Her hands struggled. Her voice cracked, but the ritual's voice drowned hers completely. It wanted more, and I obeyed. Even as the world slept, I walked among them, smiling, carrying on, while her absence burned inside me, feeding the power I had sought. Later, I dreamt she was there, in the corners of my home, pale, dripping shadows, whispering accusations I could not escape. The ritual's hunger is endless. No matter how many I offer, it always wants closer, dearer, and it knows the cost will always be my closest. She was gone, yet she never truly left. Every night I feel her eyes on me, judging, haunting, reminding me that even power comes with a price. The spirits grew impatient. Their whispers became urgent, sharp, demanding. They wanted more, closer, dearer. Those I loved, those I trusted, were no longer safe. People I had laughed with, eaten with, shared secrets with, were dragged into the fire, one by one. I watched them go. Friends, neighbors, even family. Faces etched with terror, mouths open in silent pleas. And I did nothing. I remember the fire reflected in their eyes. Their hands reached for me, but the ritual and their fates had already claimed them. even those closest to me. The ones I thought safe fell. Their screams were drowned in the chanting of the spirits, echoing endlessly in the night. I tried to bargain, to delay, to hide, but the spirits do not listen. They only demand, and they only take. One night I woke to the shadows of the people I had betrayed standing in my room, silent, dripping, staring. Their eyes pierced my soul, accusing me. The hunger of the ritual is endless. Nothing satisfies it. Not my wealth, not my power, not my sacrifices. And I know, eventually it will come for me, for the one who started it all, the one who betrayed them all. She was different, stronger, smarter. She saw the shadows lurking in my eyes. The darkness I tried to hide. I tried to control her like the others, but she resisted. She questioned, she doubted. She survived longer than any before her. The night came. She ran, slipped through my hands, out into the streets. A ghost in the darkness. I searched, called, followed, and she was gone. Invisible, untouchable, for a while. The ritual, however, is patient. That night I saw shadows moving faster than her, whispers catching up with her before my eyes could. Fear gripped her heart long before mine. Even the wind seemed to betray me. Every step I took, every street I searched, she was never there. Yet the ritual was always closer. Later I dreamt of her hiding in the forest, pale moonlight on her face, then dark hands reaching from the ground, dragging her screaming back into the fire. I never found her. Not fully, but the ritual did. Her absence haunted me. Yet it was not mine to mourn. The hunger of the ritual grows with every failed escape. It learns, it watches, it waits for me, eventually. And I know, one day I will see her again, but not as she was, only as a shadow, a warning of what happens when the darkness comes for you. Now I can't sleep. The night has become a cage, and my mind a battlefield. Every time I close my eyes, I see them. My wives, my friends, my blood. They stand in the dark, dripping, silent, watching me with eyes that burn into my soul. Their whispers curl around me, soft at first, then sharp, accusing, relentless. I dream of their hands reaching out from walls, from floors, from shadows, clawing, dragging, reminding me of the price I've paid. Sometimes they appear at the foot of my bed, faces pale, hollow, their mouths moving, calling my name, though no sound escapes. Even in daylight I feel them lingering in corners, in mirrors, waiting for the night to reclaim me. One night I woke choking, hands around my throat that weren't there, hands I buried, hands that remember every betrayal. Sleep is a curse now, a door to visions of fire, shadows, and the eyes of those I destroyed. And yet, I cannot stop closing my eyes, because even in dreams I am hunted by the very souls I once commanded. Sometimes I wake up choking, not from air, but from hands that aren't there. Hands I buried, hands that remember every betrayal, every scream, every life I stole. They grip my throat in the darkness, invisible but suffocating, reminding me that nothing stays buried forever. I see them in my dreams, crawling from the ground, from walls, from ceilings, pale, dripping, reaching, their fingers twisting toward me. The air grows thick with their presence. Their cold touch wraps around my chest, tightening, suffocating, punishing. One night I awoke to the sound of fingernails scratching across my bedroom walls. Letters etched into plaster. We remember. We come for you. Every time I touch my own skin, I feel the imprint of their hands. The weight of all the lives I betrayed. I cannot run. I cannot hide. Even in sunlight, they follow. Shadows twist in ways They shouldn't. Reminding me that I'm never alone. The more I deny it, the stronger they grow. Their whispers, their scratches, their suffocating grasp. Relentless, unending. And I know, one day their hands will drag me down completely. Until then, I wait choking. And remember what I am. People still greet me, smile at me, shake my hand, as if nothing has changed. But I know better. I see it in their eyes. That flicker of recognition. A shadow of doubt. They think they hide it. But I swear, I see them. I see that they know. In the mirror, I catch glimpses of faces staring back at me. Friends. Strangers. Eyes full of judgment and fear. As if they can see through the mask I wear. Sometimes I feel their gaze follow me through empty rooms, across streets, through walls that should protect me. One night, a neighbor smiled and waved. But in that brief moment, her eyes flashed. A silent scream. A warning. And I froze, knowing she saw something she shouldn't have, even in my office. In crowded rooms, I feel them whispering silently, their eyes accusing me, calling out the monster I have become. I try to convince myself it's paranoia, but every look, every glance, every fleeting expression confirms the truth. They may not speak, but their eyes never lie. They know what I have done. They know who I truly am. And the worst part, I can't escape it. I cannot hide. Because no matter where I go, no matter how I smile, they see. The power I bought now eats me alive. Every deal, every life, every drop of blood I spilled comes back to collect its debt. I used to think I controlled it, that wealth, fear, and respect were mine to command. But the power has its own hunger. It whispers in my ear at night, twisting my thoughts, reminding me of every betrayal, every soul I stole. I see the faces of those I've wronged reflected in every mirror, pale, hollow, accusing. Their eyes glowing with the fire of my sins. Even the air around me feels heavy, thick with the presence of the ritual. It coils around me, suffocating, relentless. One night, I walked through my own house and saw shadows moving independently. My victims reaching from walls, floors, ceilings, demanding justice. The more I try to ignore it, the stronger it grows. The power I thought I commanded now commands me. I hear the whispers in daylight too. Soft, menacing, reminding me that nothing escapes the debt I owe. Every coin, every ounce of control, every scream I silenced comes back to me multiplied, gnawing at my mind and my soul. And I know, soon I will pay the ultimate price. The power I thought was mine has been feeding on me all along. At night I hear children laughing, not mine, not anyone's. Their voices echo through empty rooms. They speak in the tongues of the dead, whispers that twist my mind. Words I cannot understand but feel in my bones. I close my eyes and see them, pale little figures, their eyes hollow, circling me in the darkness, always just out of reach. One night I turned on the lights. The room was empty, but I could feel them standing behind me, tiny hands brushing my back, cold and insistent. They laugh, but it's not joy. It's a warning, a promise, a reminder of all I have done. I saw them once in the hall mirror, standing in perfect rows, staring at me with hollow eyes, their mouths moving silently, chanting my name. No matter where I go, their laughter follows me, down streets, through doors, even across my dreams. I cannot touch them, cannot stop them, but I feel them watching, waiting, counting the debts I have yet to pay. Every corner of my home, every dark hallway, every empty room is theirs now, mine to fear, mine to endure. And I know they are only the beginning. The dead have learned to speak, and they are coming for me. The ritual has grown impatient. Its hunger is no longer satisfied with blood, lives, or fear. It told me what it wants now. My own heart. My own soul. Everything I am. Everything I've taken. It wants back. I thought I controlled it. I thought I commanded it. But now, I am nothing. I am its servant. Its next offering. The shadows in my home writhe and twist like living things. They whisper, they laugh, they call my name. Each syllable a promise of pain. Every deal, every life I took, every scream I silenced, has led me here, to this final demand. I saw it once in the fire, a figure formed from smoke and shadow. Its eyes hollow, its mouth open in hunger, staring straight at me. It is patient, but relentless. It will not be denied. It waits. For the moment I can no longer resist. I feel my own body betraying me. Heart racing, hands trembling. I'm alive, but already half consumed by the ritual's will. There is no bargaining, no hiding, no running. The ritual wants to end the game, and it will be the one to do it. I can only wait. Wait for the shadows to come. Wait for the hunger to claim me. Wait for the final night, when I become nothing. If you hear this, and you know my voice, forget it. Forget me. I am no longer the man you knew. Tonight, they come for me. The ritual, the spirits, the souls I stole, all of them converge in the darkness. I can feel their presence, crawling along my walls, whispering my name, promising pain beyond imagining. Shadows twist and writhe across the floor, forming faces I once knew, pale, dripping, screaming silently at me, calling me to join them. I am not going quietly, I cannot. The hunger that I fed, that I nurtured, will taste more tonight. I hear footsteps that aren't mine, hands that shouldn't exist brushing my skin, dragging me, pulling me. Yet I fight, because I am merciless too. Every scream I silenced, every life I stole, every ritual I performed, rises now, fueled by the rage I created. I will not fall alone. I have dragged shadows with me before, and tonight, they will join me in the abyss. The darkness thickens, the air suffocates, the ritual howls, and I know this is the end, my final night, my reckoning. If you hear my voice after tonight, know this. I am gone, but the terror I created will never forget, and neither should you.